Hi, guys. So, the last part of your core element number two for your link portfolio will be to take some of these concrete numbers that you've gotten from the Occupational Outlook Handbook and other resources that you've been using to start working on a budget. Now, budgets are something that are probably one of the most important skills you need to have as an adult. Uh, People who cannot manage their money tend to always be running into problems. They won't have enough for this month, or they get extra money one month and instead of saving it, they decide to splurge on something. And while a certain amount of that is to be expected with life is also a lot easier if you don't have that extra stress. So we're hoping that through this process, you'll at least kind of get a taste of what it's like to be able to manage your own money in a way that is responsible and allows you to have the things that you really need, and hopefully to get some of the things that you want as well. So it all starts out with, how much money can you expect to make? And I want to remind you that in the last assignment, the last portfolio element, you were exploring different occupations using the Bureau of Labor and Statistics site. Now, for this purpose, I'm just going to kind of choose one kind of here, I don't know, somewhat randomly. I'm going to choose, what if I want to be an actor? All right. And it says that there's a median pay here. Now, I want you to remember that median pay is not necessarily what you're going to make at the beginning or at the end of your career. It could vary throughout your career. But median means out of all the people who filed taxes in the 2023 who listed actor as their primary occupation, they took all of those people and found out what 50% of the people made less than and 50% of the people made more than. And it turned out to be not super great in terms of a per hourly wage. We had $20.50 per hour. Now, this one does not give us a yearly salary, so we have to do just a little bit of calculations on top of that. I'm just going to grab a window, and I'm just going to say, what if I make? I'm just going to say $20.50 per hour, and what is that as an annual salary? And let's see if it does it for me. Good. There we go. That's kind of cool. I love AI. All right. So it's the annual salary based on an hourly rate of $20.50, assuming a 40-hour work week, right, is approximately $42,640. All right. So I'm going to take that number. And I just copied it. I'm going to go over to this new site, and I have this linked in your assignment for you. And it is a salary calculator with a budget calculator attached to it. And there's a lot of stuff on here that you're going to be like, what? And that's okay, because guess what? There was a lot of stuff on here where I was like, what? Seriously. All right. We don't need to put something in every box, but I'll show you the boxes that we do want to focus on. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that gross annual salary into my little box there. And it says, please enter a valid number, probably 2, because I needed to get rid of that comma. All right, there we go. Now when I hit calculate salary or return, it does this other stuff. Now, FICA, federal, and state, these are all things that you have to pay because you live in the United States and you use services like roads and bridges and airports and government buildings and police and fire, right? All of those things take money. They don't just happen. And who pays for them? Well, we do in the form of taxes. So what this calculator does is it kind of bases off of some of the generalizations of your income and other people's income and what they had to pay. It's going to give you kind of an estimate of what your net annual and your net monthly salary would look like if you made $42,640 a year in this case. And you can see that the net monthly salary here is a little scarce, right? $2,487 a month. In other words, it would be very hard to live independently, making just that amount of money, $20 an hour, right? Because $2,487 is barely going to pay for just a place to live in Colorado. All right, so to make this a little bit more applicable, I'm going to go ahead and put in what like a salary, gross annual median salary might be for somebody who does decide to go on and get some training. Now that could be like formal training or it could be on the job training. But when we were looking at careers and occupations earlier, right, we found that some of them, we didn't even know they existed. And it could be that there's stuff out there that could work for you. And let's say we want to go, that's pretty reasonable median pay. And let's go for high school diploma or equivalent. All right. And let's see. I think we're going to go for projected growth rate average. Fastest average, just so that I make sure that I have a job in 10 years. And this Glazier's is the option I chose in the previous video. So let's look at that again, just so that you can kind of see the same types of information. Now, remember, you're going to be doing this with your numbers. In this case, it says that the median pay is about $51,100 a year. So I'm going to go ahead and put my budget calorie, and I'm going to change it to $51,100 a year. All right. Now it does all this little magic here, and it tells me that I can expect to get a net monthly salary of $2,981. Now that's just for one person and one person's income, right? But if you want to live alone with a net salary like that, then it's going to take some careful management of money, right? Because the other thing I know is that right out of high school, you're not going to have veterans benefits, because that's if you go into the military and then stay there for at least 4 years. And then after that, you get some sort of benefits from it. Social Security, you're not going to get until you're much older, 65. Alimony, hopefully you're not getting right out of high school, because that would have meant that you were married, had gotten divorced, and your former partner's spouse is now having to pay you because of the divorce agreement. Child support and other income, interest and investment, you probably will have nothing for any of these cells, and that's just fine. Okay, I don't have anything for any of those cells. That's not unusual. Now, student loans, those might show up if you decide to do some after high school training. And in which case, student loans, you know what, they're perfectly acceptable. Try to get federal loans. Why? Because the interest rates are fixed and low. Right? They're also really good at working with you if you need help paying them back slower. Right? But if you don't have any student loans, you can skip this whole section on loans. Right? But we do need to pay attention to the estimated expenses on the right-hand side. Okay? So first thing is we want to look at rent or mortgage. All right. If you want to live alone, right, and like have your own apartment, you got to be real, because here in Colorado, an apartment is expensive. Let's say a studio apartment, that means there's no real bedroom. It's like you go in and then you can see like there's an area of the apartment that's the bedroom area, there's an area that's the kitchen area, and there's a little area that's a living area. In other words, it's pretty small with not a whole lot of privacy. But it works if you're living alone. So let's say I have a studio apartment and I want it in Aurora. We'll just go 8013. That's the zip code that I used to live in, so that's the one I remember. And I'm going to say median cost or rent. All right. And it says, as of November 2024, the average rent for a studio apartment in Aurora, Colorado was $1,600 per month. Whew. Let's go back to our budget calculator. $1,600 per month. I'm going to put that in. And I'm going to scroll down now before I put in anything else. And I want you to see that right now, between your income and your rent, the only amount of money you have left over is approximately $1,381, right? So you can see how big of a chunk rent is. And in fact, a lot of places won't even approve you to rent unless your income is 3 times that of the rent or mortgage, right? The rent is if you're not owning the apartment, and mortgage is if like you're trying to buy a house so that when you're done, it's yours. Okay. Rent, it's never yours. So if we go $1,600 for our rent, right, then we're going to have to be really careful with everything else. So let's see, what about the student apartment? And let's, instead of asking about the median rent, let's ask about the median electric bill. Okay. And it says the size, blah, 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 energy efficiency. In Colorado, the average monthly utility cost is lower than national average. It says it's about $91. Now, I feel like that's kind of high because I think that that's not just for a studio apartment, because it says it depends, right? But so it's likely to be less than this. So let's just be optimistic again. Turn off all our lights and make sure that we're not leaving our, our TVs on standby and our video game PlayStations and stuff like that on standby. Let's say we're really good and we can get our gas and electric to $80. Chances are in an apartment you're not paying water, but you are going to have to pay for your internet/cable. And I believe that when I Googled this one, let's see, the median internet bill 82013. Okay. And it looks like we're looking about $75 in Colorado is 71. So we'll just go 70 and call it good. 70. Okay. Other utilities you probably won't have to worry about. I can't even think of what they might be if you were renting. Maybe if you had like an electric vehicle surcharge because you had an electric vehicle that you parked and charged at the apartment complex. But I don't know. All right, transportation, gas and maintenance. So if you have your own vehicle, let's say you own your own car outright. We're just going to, maybe you got a nice gift from somebody of a car that they didn't need or want anymore. Now, gas is pretty expensive. And I know that in my household, we tend to fill up about once every week and a half, sometimes less. And it's about $80 a time to fill up. So I'm just going to be conservative here. And I'm going to say if I take 80 times, let's say that I fill up in 1 month on average 2.5 times. Okay, so a little bit less than every 2 weeks. That's going to be $200 a month in just gas. Okay, that doesn't even account for maintenance if your car breaks down. Hopefully you don't have to pay for parking if you're renting. Let's take a look at the bottom line. Okay, we're down to $1,000 and we haven't even eaten anything yet. You're getting the idea here. All right. You're going to have to start playing with these numbers in the food and personal and things like that so that you can still have a total monthly difference that's hopefully in the plus, meaning it's not negative, meaning you haven't overspent your income. So let's say for groceries, you spend $100 a week. That's really low, by the way. I plan for, I guess for a family of 4, I plan for $1,000 a month, but I'm really careful. So, for a person for a month, let's say, I guess let's be really, say you're good, you're like Dr. Maz, you look at the sales, you shop carefully, you cook at home, you don't eat out every day. Let's say that you're spending about $250 a month on groceries. Okay, down to $781 left before we're broke for the month. All right. Insurance. You have to have insurance on your car. If you do not have insurance on your car, first off, if you get in an accident, you are going to be in a lot of trouble, not only financially, but legally, right? It's a requirement in Colorado to have insurance. All right. So if you have a car and it's insurance, let's see, how much is the median insurance? Car insurance. And I spelled that wrong, but it figured it out for me. This is for the year, right? 3,426 for the year. So we're going to go ahead and divide that by 12 to get our per month. So 3,426 divided by 12. And it tells me that is about 280. So let's just put 290 because we've been rounding down. So I'm going to say 290. And gentlemen, when you get older, once you turn 26, your insurance will go down unless you've been reckless. And then healthcare. Gosh, I hope you have healthcare. If you don't, if you get sick, it can be very, very, very scary. And healthcare is available through the government, right, at pretty affordable costs if you just are proactive. All right, but let's just say that we're spending about $200 a month on healthcare, and let's say that you've got, well, remember we said the car was a gift, so you don't have to pay a car payment. And hopefully you've been smart and you haven't gotten credit cards. Credit cards are a huge, huge, huge racket, meaning they will abuse you if you let them. It's best in life to just be very, very, very careful. Have one credit card that you are scrupulous about, or just be incredibly aware of what's going on with your spending. All right, after all of that, looks like I have about $291 for fun. I haven't even put in any entertainment. I haven't bought any clothes. I haven't gotten my nails done, right? None of those things have happened yet. So this gives you an idea of just how hard it can be. How hard it can be to live alone and to be successful with a limited income. Now, once you get this done, what I want you to do is hit print budget. And it should give you the option of saving it as a PDF like so. Okay. And then once you save that, you'll have it to help you with the next assignment. Okay, the next part of the assignment, where I'm going to ask you for some of these numbers. And if you have it printed out, you're going to be gravy. All right. Well, I hope that helps you get started with the last part of your portfolio core element number 2. Who do you want to be in terms of your future as a money maker in an occupation, and now how you're going to be budgeting. Let me know if you have any questions. We're here to help you.